Dobra, jedziemy dalej. Niech ja się tu rozejrzę. Pralka?
The machine was broken. The contraption consisted of a crude wooden wheel with wooden slats.
Okay.
Perfect for a game of poo sticks.
Okay.
It would have been a shame to tamper with the elegant bridge. The water wheel had been built to provide a natural source of power. The wheel had a rim of roughly beaten iron. The iron rim of the water wheel would have torn the skin from my fingers if I touched it. It was a pile of damp leaves.
Weźmiesz parę?
It was a pile of damp leaves.
Tak, tylko myślałam, że trochę weźmiesz.
It was a pile of...
Okej. Nie to nie. A? Aha, dobra.
I briefly considered diving into the crystal waters. Very briefly. The sound of running water always made me need the toilet.
Nie, ale faktycznie coś w tym jest. Nie wiem, czy to jakoś naukowo jest wyjaśnione, ale faktycznie coś w tym jest.
It was a large wooden cross. It was heavy. I guess that was intentional.
Na razie zostaw go tam, gdzie był.
A wooden box was connected to the nearby water wheel. It seemed to be working just fine. Two round stones were carefully balanced on a wooden structure. The stones were too heavy to turn by hand.
Czyli pewnie będzie potrzebna maszyneria. Czy ja mogę wejść na górę?
Hello? Anyone home? I'd always wanted a treehouse like that when I was a kid.
Nie wlezę. Czyli zakładam, że muszę to w jakiś sposób popsuć, żeby zatkać mu jego instrument. Bądź jej.
I couldn't see any great benefit in sharpening the cross. It seemed to be working just fine.
No i dlatego trzeba to zmienić.
It was a pile of damp leaves. It was a Two round stones were carefully balanced on a wooden structure. There was no way of climbing up to the treehouse. Two round stones were carefully balanced on a wooden structure. The stones were too heavy to turn by hand. Interwoven vines made up what looked like a drive belt.
Czy mogę je wziąć? Mogę.
That vine rope could be useful.
I chyba nawet wiem gdzie. Tak jest. Nie wiem co to mi da.
The vine provided a drive belt to connect the two stones. The stones were too heavy to turn by hand.
A patrzcie.
Now I had the contraption working.
Dobra, tylko co to mi dało? Tak aktualnie to chyba nic.
There was no way of climbing up to the treehouse. It was a pile of damp leaves.
Nie no, w sumie no dobra, naprawiałam tą maszynę, która nawet nie wiem do czego służy. Znaczy no, chyba mniej więcej wiem do czego może służyć, ale no nie widzę, żeby była dla mnie przydatna. Nie mogę się dostać do domku na drzewie, w którym ktoś gra na organach, nie wiem dlaczego. I nie mogę opuścić tego ekranu. Gdyby tak rzucić czymś?
I wasn't convinced that would...
Muszę przyznać, nie mam pojęcia co mam zrobić.
It was a water wheel. The iron rim of the water wheel would have torn the skin from my fingers if I touched it. It was a water wheel. The iron... It seemed to be working just fine.
O, Enek, ja uwielbiam takie momenty. Czyli w których jestem w nowej
It would have
lokacji.
been a shame to tamper with the elegant bridge. machine was broken. The machine was broken. The contraption consisted of a crude wooden wheel with wooden slats. I briefly considered diving into the crystal waters. Very briefly. I'd always wanted a treehouse like that when I was a kid. There was no way of climbing up to the treehouse.
Ale z własnym krzyżem coś jeszcze zrobić.
I couldn't see any great benefit in sharpening the cross.
Ale nie chciałabym, żebyś naostrzył, tylko żeby zatrzymał.
It seemed to be working just fine.
Ale mam podpowiedź, że to koło naostrza, więc może coś... O. O!
As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
Ha. Czyżby wywołać pożar?
As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
Tylko, że tam było, że te liście są mokre. Co nie?
The leaves were too damp to burn on their own.
No właśnie.
The leaves were too damp to burn on their own. It was a pile of
Normalnie uznałbym za logiczne, żeby podpalić węglem, no ale... Ale już coś ruszyłam. Czyli, że mam wywołać pożar, ale... Ha!
The bank statement was just what I needed to kindle the damp leaves.
Teraz to już powinno zadziałać.
As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
A. Teraz wykurzyłam. Nie chodziło o pożar, chodziło o
Quick,
dym.
man! Put out that fire! I got a sick woman up here.
Sorry, Father, but I needed to attract your attention.
A. Nie zauważam tej wentylacji. Chodzi o dym, nie o ogień. I doszłam do tego sama, chociaż to było potwornie abstrakcyjne i chyba po prostu szczęściem do tego doszłam. Ale doszłam.
And what do you want?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
I'm Father Hubert. I don't suppose you speak French.
Huh? Why do you want to know that?
I found a young woman with a fever by the river this morning. The poor girl is close to death, and there's nothing I can do for her but pray. I don't understand her, but I think she's speaking French.
Hang on. That must be Nico. What are you doing out here in the jungle?
God's work. Not quite the destination I had in mind when I set out, but well, you know what they say? Mysterious ways and so on.
You didn't plan to end up here?
No. I was on my way to the miners' camp in the north. I was stuck here when my boat capsized on the river.
That's exactly what happened to me. How long have you been here?
11 years.
Au.
That's my girlfriend you've got in your treehouse. What's the matter with her?
She's been bitten by a venomous river snake.
But
No
can't you do something
świetnie.
for her? There's a cure, isn't there?
I ran out of penicillin and morphine years ago, but the local people speak of a root which they believe will counteract the poison.
Where can I find this root?
I don't know, but maybe the shaman of the village can tell us.
Will you show me the way to the village?
Me? Oh, but I can't.
Can't. Nico's life depends on it.
You're right. Of course I should, despite my own guilt and shame. But I can't go as a representative of God with a creased collar.
A creased collar? You mean you put your personal attire higher than the life of a sick woman?
I will not go to that village looking anything but my best.
Give me your collar. I'm sure I can find a way to press it.
Thank you, my son. In the meantime, I must contemplate my sermon.
There was obviously more than a creased collar bothering the priest.
Nie wiem ile już nagrywam, ale dobra. To już jak to zrobić, to już wszyscy wiemy.
So there I was, hundreds of miles from civilization, doing the housework for a priest. It's a strange world.
I hop.
The press worked surprisingly well on the collar. Here's your collar, Father.
Thank you, George. You'll probably think it a little odd of me to make such a fuss.
Oh no. If I've been living in the jungle for 11 years, I'd be completely screwy too. Screwy?
Yes, perhaps I am. Ever since my last visit to that village.
Do you want to tell me what happened at the village?
I forgot my vows. I let myself be overwhelmed by the beauty of this unspoiled paradise, and in a moment of weakness, animals passion reared its splendid head.
You know, you should be writing romantic novels. Did you experience some kind of a physical liaison at the village?
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I found myself doing the monkey dance.
I've never heard it called that before. And I didn't want to pry any deeper into Hubert's murky past. Now you've got your collar back, will you take me to the village?
I've still not finished my sermon.
Look, Father, I still don't know why you're so reluctant to visit that village, and it's none of my business. Whatever the reason, it can't be more important than saving Nico's life.
You're right. I must be crazy. We must make haste if we're to reach the village before nightfall.
By the time we reached the village, it was sunset.
Oh, whoa.
Hello, boys. Glad to see you're still wearing the underpants. What?
They're the best Christmas present we ever had, Father.
Mine are too tight. Well, we all have our cross to bear. This is George. He has a request to make. I'm afraid I can't stay. Good luck, George.
That's a relief. I never feel comfortable with him about.
Me neither. These damn pants keep riding right up my butt.
So, what do you want?
O nie, ta gra zaczęła się robić coraz dziwniejsza.
My girlfriend has been bitten by a snake.
So, everyone in my family has been bitten by snakes.
I was bitten by a dormouse once.
She's real sick. I hoped your wise man might have medicine.
Wise man? You must have the wrong village.
Father Hubert said there was a wise man in the village who could help me.
No, there's no one of that description here.
Ooh, he must mean the old man, the shaman.
I thought he just made up all those stories he tells. I never thought of him as being wise.
Are you going to stand by and let my girlfriend die?
Of course not. What do you think we are, savages?
We'll start the preparations for a cremation feast.
Czarny humor.
I'd like to see the shaman, please.
You can't just go walking in there and demand to speak to the shaman.
Why not?
You have to observe the protocol. The shaman demands tribute.
Tribute? You mean like a gift?
That's right.
The eternal question. What do you give a man who has everything? Give me a clue. What kind of things does your shaman like? Does he have a hobby, a favorite sport?
You insult us. The shaman lives on a higher plane.
Oh, right. Maybe a book would be more suitable. Or a jigsaw puzzle? Don't you just hate choosing presents for people you don't know?
No dobra, jedziemy po kolei.
Here, he'll like these biscuits.
If you say so.
So, is this your first visit to our planet?
I am from the same planet as you. I'm from California. Why, we're practically neighbors.
He liked the biscuits, especially the black ones. He wants to know if you've any more.
Aha. Dobra, ponieważ już chyba trochę nagrywam, na razie zapiszę. Na wszelki wypadek oczywiście, bo nic nie wiadomo. W sumie to zastąpię ten save wioską i kolejna przerwa techniczna.